What is up, y'all? My name is Cameron. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the very tip of the longest man-made fishing pier in the world. Today we are out here at the famous Texas City Dike, and we are going to be throwing live shrimp to hopefully catch some speckled trout, redfish, and really whatever else will bite. So y'all stick with it, stay tuned. I'm gonna rig up, show you exactly what we're using and how we're gonna be using it, and let's see if we can catch something on this beautiful morning. Let's get after it. So we've got some live shrimp, but whenever we got out of the car, we noticed there's a ton of finger mullet just swimming all around down here. And if there's a ton of finger mullet, that's probably what the fish are feeding on. So we're gonna try to throw the casting off the rocks and get some of these finger mullet and then free line them and see if we can get some trout on that. So let's throw the casting net. Got him. Yes, sir. There we go, y'all. Took a few casts, but we got ourselves some nice finger mullet right there. Probably about 7 or 8 of them. We're gonna throw these guys in the live well, get rigged up, and then let's get on to fishing. So we're going to start by free lining a bait, and I have some 20-pound fluorocarbon leader here, 20-pound main line, and then I'm just using a small number 6 treble hook because I couldn't find my bag with the other hooks in it, and a treble will work perfect. So we're gonna reach in here, grab out a mullet, start with the mullet because that's what we're seeing swim around everywhere. So we're gonna take our mullet, we're gonna hook him through the back right here, just like that, and that bait is ready to go. So let's go ahead and toss this guy out. And there's a lot of current that comes from this side, from right to left, and just slowly moves across the end of the dike. So we're kind of just gonna let that current take our bait. So we're gonna toss them out a little bit off the rocks, not too far. And then we're just gonna leave our bail open and slowly let that line out as that mullet swims with it and as that current takes it. And then whenever we get a bite, that line should start ripping out. We'll close it, set the hook, and that's it. Let's see what we can make happen. Well, we just moved down the dike a little bit, and that is the great part about this. If you're not catching anything, then you can just pick up, drive down. It's 5 miles long, so you have 5 miles of basically one long piece of structure to fish. So we didn't catch anything at the end. We saw some fish popping, but just didn't get any bites. So we picked up, we moved down probably about 2 miles, and we're gonna fish here, throw the popping cork with some live shrimp for a couple casts. And if we don't catch anything, then we're just gonna do it again, and that's the plan. Eventually, if you stay with it and you grind it out, you will run into some fish. Well, no bites here, so let's load up and keep on moving. All right, we just pulled up to another spot. We got this little old dock, pier, whatever it is here. And we're gonna be doing some flounder fishing around this on our way down the dike. So I've just got a 1/4 ounce jig head and a live finger mullet. And I'm just gonna take that finger mullet, I'm gonna run this hook into his mouth, out the top of his head, just like that. That's gonna keep him alive. It's not hitting the brain or anything. And that is a perfect flounder bait. And this is one of my favorite ways to fish for flounder, mullet on a jig head. I like to keep it as simple as possible. I already know there's gonna be comments of people telling me that's not how you do it. Well, this is how I do it, and it works. If there's a flounder here, they're not gonna pass that up. No need to make some special rig or anything like that. A jig head, a live mullet, and you're ready to go. This is also a great way to catch redfish and even speckled trout. So we're just gonna pop in here. Excuse the wind noise. Just gonna pop in here, we're just gonna toss this mullet out, let them sink down to the bottom around all this structure. There's little pops or drags, and we're waiting to feel a thump. Unfortunately, part of flounder fishing is getting snagged, and I'm stuck out here. But if you're not getting snagged, you're not casting close enough to the structure. And we just broke off. So that's our sign to leave. We fished this for about 10 minutes, threw them all around, did not get a bite. Let's go ahead and keep on moving. We are now at the very beginning of the dike. You can see the entrance right there, and we're throwing shrimp on a popping cork. And this is a lot shallower. This is basically a big old flat, very popular spot to wade over here. And so we're gonna see if these trout are up shallow today. It's still about 9 in the morning, so there's no reason they wouldn't be up here. And hopefully we'll be able to finally catch something for you guys. Fish only. First catch of the day. Bull croaker. Oh, it's definitely slow out here. This is probably our 4th spot using live bait and not really getting any bites except for this one croaker. So we're gonna toss that back, grab another shrimp, and there's nothing to do but keep on trying. Let's cast another bait out. We're reeling in the popping cork right now. It's not really working. Gotten a couple bites, but it's all just bait sealers. So we're gonna change it up a little bit. We're gonna stop throwing the shrimp, and we're actually gonna rig up all of our rods with some bottom rigs, either Carolina rigs or just single drop rigs, and we're gonna throw these out here with live mullet and see if we can pull up some redfish or flounder, or once again, anything that bites. So let's go ahead and get those rigged up. We're gonna hook it by the tail. I am throwing it on a Carolina rig, and with the Carolina rig, you can do 2 things. You can either let this just sit out there, or you can bounce it back to you. But I'm just gonna go ahead and let this sit out here because we are gonna put 2 or 3 rods out. And because of that, I hooked it by the tail. So it's gonna be constantly trying to swim away and mimicking an injured fish. Well, not really mimicking because it is an injured fish. So that should work right there. As you can see, all I have is about 1/2 or 1 ounce egg sinker, a bead, swivel, my leader line, and then a circle hook right down there. Let's send this out. And when we're doing this, it's not all about casting as far as you can. So we may put 1 rod out far, 1 rod half that distance in, and just stagger them to try to find out where those fish are laying, how far or how close they're laying to the rocks. But got that out there, let it sink down to the bottom. And we're gonna just find a place to set this in the rocks, and then we're gonna wait. And I'm hoping it doesn't take too long to get picked up. Well, good morning, y'all. It is the next day, and we are back out here at the Texas City Dike. Yesterday was a bust. It was terrible fishing. It was super hot. It was like 95 degrees by 10:30 in the morning, and the fish just weren't cooperating. So I came back this morning, got out here a little bit earlier, picked up another pint of live shrimp. We're gonna be throwing the popping corks, and today we are starting at the beginning of the dike to see if that makes a difference. The sun is just peeking up out there, and as you can see, we have this big old, looks like a storm coming. So hopefully we'll be able to get some fishing in before it comes and catch a few keepers. Y'all stick with it, stay tuned. Let's grab a shrimp, bait up, and start fishing. First shrimp of the morning. There we go, first fish of the day. That is a ladyfish. Not at all what we're looking for. This is a trash fish. Oop, and he's gone. Also known as a poor man's tarpon, because they jump out of the water and fight like crazy. Very fun to catch, but not a good fish to take home and eat. We caught that guy right off the rocks. Saw a bunch of bait splash up over here, so I let that cork work all the way back in, and there we go. Cast out of the same spot. A lot of times ladyfish and trout will hang out in the same areas. They kind of feed on the same thing. They like finger mullet, shrimp, everything. Oh, there's another bite. Got him. Another ladyfish. Jumped him off. At this point, after being skunked all day yesterday, I am pretty desperate to catch anything. I don't care what it is. Ladyfish, sand trout, hardhead. I'll take whatever bites. Guys, I just turned the camera off, and I had this cork right next to the rocks, and I just hooked a nice trout right here. And he came flying like 3 feet out of the water. I thought it was a ladyfish until I saw the yellow mouth. That was insane. See if we can flip him right here. This is always scary. We got him. Let's go. A nice speckled trout right off the rocks. Look at that. It's a funny thing that people always talk about. When you're fishing from the bank, everyone tries to cast as far as possible. And when you're fishing on the boat, everyone casts right at the rocks. So there we go. The rocks are structured. That's why the fish are here anyways. Point proven, you don't always have to cast as far out. Pop that hook out. That's an easy keeper. We're gonna throw him on the stringer. Nice fish right there. Awesome. Well, unfortunately, our supply of live shrimp has ran out. We went through all of the shrimp today and only managed to catch that one keeper speckled trout and then a few ladyfish and pinfish as well, but really nothing worth showing y'all. So we are gonna go ahead and call it a day because there's no more bait popping and it's dead once again, just like yesterday. But y'all don't go anywhere. Make sure to stay tuned because we are going to be doing a catch and cook with that keeper trout. So we'll see y'all back at the house and back in the kitchen. We got our beautiful speckled trout fillets right here from that one keeper trout. And that is gonna be perfect to make a nice lunch. And today we're gonna be making some beer battered fish. This is a real quick and simple recipe that you can cook up for lunch and it's sure to satisfy that fried fish craving. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna take our fish that we filleted and we're just gonna cut it into nice frying size pieces. And beer battered fish is great because you can eat it by itself or you can put it on a sandwich, a taco, really whatever you want. It's gonna be delicious anyways. So there we go. Got 6 nice chunks out of that one speckled trout. We're just gonna put this to the side. Let's go ahead and make our batter. So for the batter, all I have is some flour, a little bit of cornstarch to add that extra crunchiness and make it real light and fluffy, and then some seasoning in here. So I have some garlic, salt, pepper, cayenne, really whatever you want. Add anything in there, just make some seasoned flour. And then, of course, the most important part for beer batter is some beer. So whatever choice of beer you want, doesn't matter. We're just gonna go with the Modelo right here because it's what we got in the fridge. And you want to make sure that you have cold beer and that you are whisking it as you're slowly pouring in that beer. So let's get to it. And it should take about 1 beer. I have about a cup of flour in here, so 1 beer should be enough. And one thing I've learned when making beer battered fish is that you want it to be way thinner than you think. You want like a wet paint consistency. And that is what's gonna coat that fish evenly and keep it from getting soggy whenever you fry it. So we're just gonna whisk that up. Gonna have to add a little bit more, I can already tell. And that should be about perfect. Look at that, nice and thin, almost watery. And the perfect thing is, we got a sip left for us as well. Before you put your fish into the mixture here, into the beer batter, you're gonna wanna do a light coating of flour on it. And what that's gonna do is that is gonna help that batter stick to it. I don't know if y'all have ever had beer battered fish and whenever you go to take a bite, the batter is just completely separated from the fish and it just falls off. Well, nobody likes that. So make sure that you give it a light dusting of flour right before you dunk it into that batter. And that's gonna help a lot. So we're just gonna take our fish, flip it in that batter, drain off the excess, that's very important. And then you wanna make sure that your oil is at around 375. Too hot and it's going to burn that batter and not cook the fish at all. And then too cool and it's going to make it really soggy. So let's drop it in. Always lay your fish away from you to keep it from popping on you and splashing hot oil. There we go, we'll do 2 at a time. So while this fish is cooking, I wanted to tell you guys two things. First thing is, I want to tell you guys thank you so much for watching the videos. They have been going crazy lately. Each video is just doing better and better than the previous one. So that is awesome to see. And I know it is all because of you guys. And if you do enjoy the videos, don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment because it really helps them grow. All those interactions just help boost the views even more and push it to more people so we can continue to grow the channel. The second thing I want to tell you guys is that this Saturday, July 6th at 3 p.m., we are going to be doing a little meetup / cleanup day at the Moses Lake Floodgate in Texas City. It really sucks whenever you head out to your fishing spot and it's just covered in trash. Nobody likes that. It's disgusting. It's dirty. So at 3 p.m. this Saturday, July 6th, like I said, we'll be doing a little meetup / cleanup day at Moses Lake Floodgates. We'll have latex gloves, trash bags, all that stuff. And if you guys want to come out, help us clean up the area, clean up a very popular fishing spot, as well as hang out, talk some fishing, and just have a good time, I will leave all the information in the description down below and hopefully see you guys there. With that being said, if you take a look at our fish right here, I did exactly what I said not to do. I had the oil temperature too high and it's starting to burn the outside of our fish. Luckily, I turned it down and I think we're gonna be able to save it. It's a little more brown than we want, but it should still be delicious. So let's continue to fry these up, drop in the rest of the pieces, get them all cooked, and then we'll taste it and let you know how good it is. All of the fish is done. It only takes about 4 to 5 minutes to fry up. I'll check that out. Beautiful golden brown, crispy pieces of fish. And right when that fish comes out of that hot oil, make sure that you hit it with a little bit of salt. That's still gonna stick as long as the fish is hot. So let's just grab this piece of fish, let's break it open. It's super hot right now. Ooh, look at that. White, flaky, still juicy, perfect. We're gonna give that a bite. And also, I looked in the fridge. Don't have any tartar sauce, nothing to dip it in. We don't even have a lemon wedge to squeeze over the top. So I just mixed a little bit of mayonnaise and mustard together with some Worcestershire sauce, as well as a little bit of salt. And that is a great base for any fish dip. So start with this and then you can add anything to it and make whatever type of sauce that you want. But this tastes great with fish. I know it sounds weird, it's really plain, but it's delicious, trust me. Let's go ahead and give that a taste test. Look at the steam coming off of it. I'm about to melt my mouth, but we're gonna do it. Perfect. Man, that is some good fried fish. It's not often that I make beer battered fish because I usually mess it up a lot. But as long as you get that batter super thin and you fry it at a good temperature, it's gonna turn out delicious. And these are great. Real light, real crispy, and the fish is cooked perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this plate, but before I do, like always guys, I wanna tell you thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're not already, and if you are, I thank you so very much. That's it for this video. Hopefully I will see some of you guys on Saturday, July 6th, this upcoming weekend, and I thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, peace.